Right then, I'm going to do a quick video today called The Worry with Benjamin Šeško. So United's centre-forward shortlist has seen a number of established names this summer. Ollie Watkins is the current forerunner, I would say. Victor Gyökeres has been on there. Osimhen has been on there. Whether or not that's the club or if that's the fans, I'm not entirely certain, but that is the shortlist I guess that we'd be looking at. Liam Delap at some point was obviously on that list also. And Benjamin Šeško finds himself on this list. And this transfer rumour is beginning to take a little bit of traction. I think there's obvious talent in Sesko. I think he ticks a hell of a lot of boxes, and I'll probably cover those in a separate video to a greater or lesser extent. But there's also concerns to be had with this transfer, and it really does centre along that exchange rate between Bundesliga goals and Premier League goals. And I think for that reason, I lean towards he's not my ideal choice. Now, what I would say, in almost mitigation to my own video, is that I do believe that Benjamin Šeško would be an upgrade, and quite a significant upgrade, in a couple of areas, shooting and goal scoring being the main one, but also in terms of like the aerial threat, his ability to hold up the ball over Rasmus Højlund. But I don't know how it translates to England, and that's why I would prefer Ollie Watkins over him. However, I'm going to do the work, and I'm going to say, is he ready for the Premier League? Is he worth the money? Would he fit at Manchester United? So, again, even though there's a lot of positives, and clearly if it's a case of sign Ollie Watkins or sign nobody, sign Benjamin Šeško or sign nobody, then of course I go with sign Benjamin Šeško. But I just wanted to sort of do due diligence and look at both sides of a transfer rather than just go, it's a new signing, therefore he's great, sweet. So like I said, according to Sky Sports Germany, United are in discussions with Sesko's representatives. By the sounds of things in and around the club at the moment, that's accurate. It sounds like there needs to be sales before any significant signing like this one happens. But I wanted to have a bit of a breakdown in terms of my worries with this transfer. So, he's 22 years of age, and he has shown a serious amount of promise in the Bundesliga. He's had a couple of really strong seasons. That have seen him linked with quite a lot of different clubs. He's only just turned 22 as well, so this is a really young signing. Like, his birthday was like 2 months ago. So this is a pretty young signing, a couple of months younger than Rasmus Højlund. So if Rasmus Højlund is a young prospect, quite clearly Benjamin Šeško is still a young prospect. But he scored 21 goals and 6 assists in 45 appearances last season for RB Leipzig. The problem is transfers from Bundesliga to the Premier League, and particularly to Manchester United, it seems, especially, don't seem to always pay off in terms of the differences between those leagues, especially for forwards. Defenders, I think, and even midfielders come across really well, but forwards, outside of Højlund, who was just a freak, haven't really translated too well to the Premier League. So the major question that we're looking at answering here is, can Benjamin Šeško adapt to the Premier League? Can he deal with playing against tight, compact, low blocks? And would he be able to elevate Manchester United's all-round play to justify a £70 million outlay, making him our biggest investment this summer, on top of already investing somewhere in the region of 130 million across our initial 2 signings? There is no doubt he is talented, but we've seen better and worse players fail in new surroundings in the Premier League, and in particular at Manchester United. Now, Leipzig wants £70 million, not euros, pound, for him, which is a serious investment for someone that's still proving himself at the highest level. I think our financial situation means that that's a big risk. And even if we managed to sell some players to raise the funds to do that, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. There is not an unlimited pot of money for Manchester United. That's going to take away from other areas, especially if he ends up costing twice what another player would cost. We, of course, have to get the Fab Four off the books: Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, Anthony, Malacia. I could even make a case for Højlund coming off the books, but for now, I could even just accept him being relegated to the backup striker role. Rashford going is a good start, but we didn't get any money for him. He's gone on loan. Now, Sesko's talent, I think, is quite clear, but it's raw and unrefined. He's got a high ceiling. He has got good physicality, which you at least think might adapt to the Premier League. he has got good level of finishing, but his game is not polished. His link-up play needs improvement, and when you've got players playing off him in the manner that Cunha and Mbeumo would be, that's an issue. And in comparison to United's current strikers, you'd have to be insane to say that he's not got more goal-scoring prowess than both Xerxes and Højlund. But he's very, very different to either. And he could face similar sort of troubles adapting to the system. Now, I do think with time, he has got the raw materials to be crafted into a very, very good striker. It's just unclear if United is the environment for that to happen, or if United needs something of a more immediate impact. Because I tell you this, if you don't get a striker, or you get a striker and he doesn't work, and it creates dysfunction in that forward line, then the Ruben Amorim project won't get beyond another year or 18 months. And that means that somebody else comes in, and then you're looking at another style which requires more signings, which requires, more time for that project to take seed. And even though there's a lot of skepticism around transfer rumours, some suggest that Sesko's links to United are purely done to make Newcastle panic and do the thing, because they're looking like they're going to lose Isak. David Ornstein's come out, made it very clear that he is on the list. United think it can happen, and there's probably some steps going towards trying to make it happen. Now, I do think that there's issues in play. I think Newcastle represent a big issue. With the summer they've had, they could panic and just throw whatever it requires to get this one over the line. United will have to wait, and possibly even ask him to wait, because of the situation with our players that haven't managed to leave yet. And that could create a problem. He might not be willing to wait another 2-3 weeks. He might not be willing to sit out without coming to pre-season at his new club. He might see all of those as negative things. And can United outbid Newcastle? Surely not. If Newcastle are aware of Isak's transfer to whoever, I don't know where that is at the moment. He just wants out of Newcastle. If Newcastle are aware of Isak's desire to leave Newcastle, they know that they will get a fee for him on some level. They could probably gamble and say, okay, well, let's line up the Sesko deal, get it over the line, so at least our fans aren't going to lynch us when the season starts, and then they can let Isak go a little bit easier, can't they? So do I want this deal to happen? Look, does he improve us over Højlund? Yes, he does. That's not to say it doesn't come with worries. Do I think he scores goals? Yes. I don't know if he gets immediately into double figures, your 10s, 12s. Maybe he would benefit from the players around him in Mbeumo and in Cunha. But I like what the club has done so far in bringing in Premier League proven. And my preference would be Premier League proven. Now, if we sign him, support him and hope for the best. But I think it's only fair that you look at both sides, the potential upsides and the potential negatives of any transfer. I think about doing one with Baleba. I'm seeing so much talk of Baleba now. I don't think we'll get him, to be honest, this summer. I don't even know if we'll even try and get him this summer. But with Rio dropping his name, and I don't know if it's because Rio's dropped his name, I'm seeing increasing sort of people discussing him online. But if you'd like me to do a scout report on Baleba, drop it in the comments below. I'll see what I can do. Latest.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.